Remember to keep
Well,
your
I
eye
hope
on
so.
my Twitter at NostalgiaTalix and on the Team Liquid post. Guys, let's get into it. Game number 3.
In the bottom right-hand corner, our Zerg player just coming off of the high of another victory. He has no problems. He's the macro king. Puts Idra to shame. GG no re. MaSsan. His opponent will be spawning in the top left-hand corner. Don't worry, baby. O2, I'm just letting you get full of yourself. Future, our red toss. Talix, I am on top of this tonight, man.
Your intros are like you should have a show.
Oh, wait.
So you have
We
one.
do.
That's right. That's why you're here. Well, you're not here because you have the most amazing intros ever, or that you're a really great analytical caster. At the end of the day, you're here because your mustache is so damn awesome.
That's definitely correct.
All right. Well, it looks like this game, Future, going to be going for the early pylon here at the front. I think we're going to be seeing him go for the same kind of tactic he did in the first game, trying to get that earlier expansion up. I mean, he is playing on Whirlwind. This is a huge map. Take a look at this gigantic run he has to go, especially because they're cross positions. So, I mean, very, very easy for Zerg in this map to go for the early hatch. Like, you don't even need, you know, your spawning pool up. Like, you can
Spawning
literally
pool,
just
yeah.
go hatch first on this map.
But you
and
know
feel
what
completely
is
safe.
really scary on this map for Zerg Talix? Proxy Stargate.
Oh, yeah. This is one of those maps where proxy anything can be extremely terrifying. Proxy Stargate, so you can get some nice early Phoenix in there, or at the same time, you can even getting an Oracle and destroy
Oracles
the
are
mineral line.
super duper scary. Actually, if I was a toss, hypothetically speaking, I would love to hallucinate Oracles over Phoenixes, because your opponent sees 3 or 4 Oracles, you have to make 3 spores.
Yeah.
There's no other way to respond.
There's a lot of mind games in it. I mean, that's the same thing when hallucination was being used early in Wings of Liberty when people were making the Phoenixes. A lot of people were like, oh my god, he's got Phoenixes already. How do I defend against this? And people just threw spores up. Heart of the Swarm, people have become a little bit more understanding of what exactly hallucination is and aren't falling for it quite as much. But I have to say, no matter what race you are, Oracles are just terrifying.
Oracles are terrifying. One of those things in your mineral line is absolutely devastating.
Yeah, exactly.
However, you know what just makes me happy, Taylor? The timing of Overlords popping. Exactly when his larva was getting ready to pop, an Overlord popped out.
Yeah, MaSsan is very, very on top of his early game. Like I was saying, he was able to go for that hatch first, didn't even have to worry about getting that earlier spawning pool up. It is up now. He's going to be able to make those queens. As for Future, he also went for the Nexus first after Pylon. Now he's going to be getting, you know, the forges up, he's getting his gateways, getting a photon cannon. He's probably also going to be putting down his cybernetics core here as soon as that gateway finishes up.
Well, they should know from scouting information, or at least MaSsan should know, that his opponent is in the top left-hand corner because he has scouted both expo locations in the bottom left and now in the top right, and there's none. And if your opponent isn't expoing on this map,
Yeah, that's just
there could be a problem.
Yeah, well, we can see, you know, Future is now down 2-0. We have to kind of understand what exactly it is that you think he's going to be doing in this game. Future obviously doesn't know quite where MaSsan is yet, but I wonder, do you think being down 2-0 you want to do something like hiding tech, you know, getting that proxy up there, or do you think you just want to play your best macro game?
I guess it depends on how the matches have really been going. If we're talking about a long-term gameplay, really wearing your opponent isn't an option when you're down games. Usually you need to hit your opponent fast, maybe a quick double-double early tech or some sort of really quick games to really smash your opponent in to make him think, whoa, holy crap, all of a sudden we're tied again.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what we did see at DreamHack, you know, with Leenock versus Naniwa. Naniwa going down, so what does he do? Double 8-gate proxy and eventually just win with that. I mean, it's just fun to see people do that, but we actually see Future double Stargate tech.
Yeah, I was about to say just earlier before we started talking about the match setup that we would probably see some sort of Stargate play this one, since we haven't seen any Stargate play yet whatsoever, and it's so strong against Zerg. I loathe air units and all of their existences in the world.
It's very, very effective play, but however, we do have to remember MaSsan loves his Hydralisks.
He does.
You know, overmaking Void Rays, for instance, can be really, really bad for Future, but at the same time, I think we're going to be seeing a lot of Phoenix out of him. Make sure that MaSsan does not have vision around the map that he'll need. Actually, the Void Ray came out first. That's why this double Stargate was there. I think it is going to be mass early game Void Rays.
It could be some sort of Void Raid play with a round army of mostly Zealots. Charge lots would be really effective against a mostly Hydra ball just because charge lots do the deeps, as it were.
Yeah, I definitely would like to think that Future could really do a very, very great push if he had that third base up there, going Void Ray, Archon, Zealot. I think that's an extremely strong combination against Zerg.
Archons are an extremely effective unit against Zerg because the amount of Roaches and Ultralisk they... let's see, force is a good word to use. You're really forced to make armored-based units, so you can't make a lot of Hydras or they just die.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we did see Future try to poke, try to kill off that queen. Here's a little interesting statistic for all of you guys who like to think that Stalkers are stronger than Zealots. A Zealot versus a queen one-on-one, the Zealot wins. The Stalker versus the queen one-on-one, the queen wins. Just thought you guys should know that.
Stalkers have a very low DPS because of the timing between their attacks, while Zealots get 2 attacks in melee very quickly.
Yeah, very, very strong. Alright, Future looks like he's moving across map right now with the 3 Void Rays, and MaSsan actually has no idea about those Void Rays right now. I'm interested to see how he's going to react to this, because, I mean, he's going to have to make tons of queens at this point.
I would totally be okay with lots of queens on this map.
Yeah,
for one reason, Talix.
Well, it's such a huge map. Creep spread, for instance,
it's
is very
such
important.
a huge map. Yes, sir. That is exactly spot on, without a doubt. Creep spread. Here's a large number of roaches and queens in position. Oh, spores going down.
Yep, the spores are going down now. The queen is going to get not taken off. Future does not like to finish off the queens of MaSsan as far as we've been able to determine so far. Oh, here come the Phoenixes.
Well, it's time to go attack your opponent because you just have roaches.
Yeah, exactly. Alright, the next queen getting picked up, that other queen getting targeted down. It looks like Spore Crawlers are going down in mass right now trying to defend this third base, but I don't think it's going to be able to happen. I think these Void Rays are going to be able to at least end this third base.
That is quite unfortunate. Stargate play is just so strong, like I said.
We also have to remember, what does Future have back at home right now? It looks like, he's got those 2 phonon cannons, but there is a lot of roaches here right now, and I don't think those cannons are going to be able to hold off enough. We're going to have to see some good force fields go down, because those roaches are not going to be allowed to get into this base.
It looks like he's... Oh, Immortal's...
Oh, never mind. Immortal's just fine, yeah. Immortal's a perfect answer to a whole bunch of roaches right now. Plus the Mothership Force to try to defend. Oh, it actually looks like
he's gonna have to pull back.
Tons of Hydralisks. Future tried to hit the main base of MaSsan, but the Hydralisks there were able to take care of it. It looks like he's just going to try to focus on that third base, so it looks like it might end up being a 2-base versus 2-base. But here come the Hydralisks. Lots of them. We're going to have to see Future run away right now because he cannot afford to lose the rest of this air army. Oh!
If he loses the Phoenix, I think the Phoenix are so much more important than the Void Rays right now. Just because you can deny so many Overlords with the Phoenix, you can deny certain power units in a fight with Phoenixes, and if he loses that, he loses so much map control.
Yeah, MaSsan actually supply blocked right now. It looks like Future is going to go on an Overlord killing spree, actually just kind of stopping right now, because he has to focus on making sure all the Overlords around his base are going to die. Now, MaSsan was able to keep this third base up. That third base is injured, so, I mean, if he's not careful, some really good aggression could eventually take that down. Here come the Immortals. It looks like another Immortals are going to be popping out. 4 Immortals right now. But we also have to remember, MaSsan doesn't have too many roaches anymore. It looks like the majority of his army is going to be going into that Hydralisk-based play.
And Hydras happen to be quite effective at attacking quickly, which is not what you want when you have Immortals.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we see that there's going to be double Colossus up here, quite a lot of Immortals. We're probably going to see a couple of Sentries and Zealots, and I think we're going to see Future just go for a huge push.
However, we do not have any sort of spire check whatsoever from our Zerg because his third base was denied so long, his gas intake has been a lot less than it should be.
Yeah, if we take a look at exactly what it is MaSsan is doing right now, I mean, he is getting his Hydralisk speed. He is throwing down that Infestation Pit, probably thinking he wants to tech to Hive at this point. And here come the Destructible Rocks towards third base, but there is Immortals here, plus there is 1 Sentry. Let's see how much energy he has. Plenty of energy. So I wonder how effective that is going to be if MaSsan overextends. Good force fields will destroy this entire Roach army. We're just destroying the Destructible Rocks.
I'm not sure they made their mind up yet. These are the most indecisive roaches.
They're pretty indecisive. Alright, it does look like those Void Rays coming back, trying to take out that 1 hatchery. It's getting pretty low, but it stays alive. 92 HP remaining. All right, there's the double Colossus. We have the 4 Immortals right now. The upgrades are getting in there right now. If we take a look at the Immortals, we're getting the +1 right now, plus the extended thermal lance. But our Zerg player moving across map right now with the +1 armor upgrade. Tons and tons of Hydralisks. Not much of an army here for Future. He's going to have to be very, very careful on how this gets engaged, because
if those Colossus get snapped anyway, Talix, this army will disintegrate.
Yeah, it'll be over so quickly. Especially, well, if the Roaches go through the Immortals, that will be pretty good. Oh, it looks like he didn't move up towards that natural base. Good force
the
fields.
Lings got in.
Oh, yeah, you're right. And some Void Rays getting picked off as the reinforcements come. Some good force fields, plus that Time Bomb going down.
The Time Bomb is weighing down those Hydra quantities.
Yeah, quite great. Here comes another Colossus, but he's got to keep that in the back. Do not pull that Colossus too far forward. The Zealots coming to see how much damage they can do. It only looks like a couple of Hydralisks here and some Zerglings to reinforce. I think Future is actually going to be able to hold this pretty well.
I think so, too.
Okay, well, let's see.
Pincer attack.
Oh, those Colossus have to stay out of the way.
I'm surprised he didn't just focus down the Immortals, since his opponent is focusing on so much Colossus production right now. If you could have picked off the Immortals, you could have reflooded with Roaches.
Yeah, I love that he's making Zealots right now. He's going to have to go for that counter push. That 3rd base did not go down, and it has to go down. The 4th base now is up for MaSsan, and he is going to be getting the gas out of that pretty soon. I mean, we can already take a look that his gas just went from 1,100 to 500 because he is making 14 Hydralisks at one time.
Yeah, it's quite a bit of Hydras to refuel, but he did just lose a huge army. That was tons of gas with that much Hydra. It's not like throwing away a Ling army or some Roaches. It was Hydralisks.
Yeah, we actually saw that Future has made 2 Cybernetics cores, something that I think is pretty interesting. That can obviously mean a few things. He wants to go into heavy air upgrades, or it was a mistake. But I don't know which one that would be at this point, because
we can only hope it's air.
I would love for it to be air. Now, Future actually doesn't have a huge army, but he is warping in right now. I think he's probably trying to get to the 180 mark. Let's see if he can put some forward pylons down. But, I mean, he's got to do some attacking here pretty soon. MaSsan already has those Vipers up right now. They are just collecting some energy off of some of those Spore Crawlers. And I think those Colossus, they're just going to be, like, free candy here to those Vipers.
I can only imagine that MaSsan is trying to get away from his heavy Hydralisk play because of this 4th Phalanx. If I can take it there for just an instance. He's not gathering gas.
Yeah, he's not gathering gas, something that I thought we would see. Now, it obviously can mean a couple of different things. I mean, he's making tons of Roaches right now. Did he tech up the Hive yet? He did. So do you think this could eventually turn into some Ultralisk play? Yeah, exactly.
Yes, sir, I do believe so. There could be some Ultralisks on the field, especially considering that his opponent's army is so condensed.
Yeah, definitely a great point. And also, as Future, you don't want to be engaging right here in the center of the map, because Zerg is so good at this one thing called surrounding your entire army and destroying it in seconds.
Oh, the engaged. The force fields are pretty good, but the Colossus gets completely destroyed.
That was a sick amount of dead Colossus here. Now, there's actually not that many Hydralisks left, but there we go. Warping everything back here from Future. That was not the engagement that he wanted at all.
No, it wasn't. I think there's a drop. Yes, there's a low-cost Zealot drop in back here that will do pretty much nothing.
Yeah, that's exactly what Future needs to do. He has to do those constant aggressions. He has to be poking here and there. Because, I mean, if he can eventually let's just think of it like this. This 4th base is going up for Future. If he keeps it alive, that's really good. MaSsan has to stay on 5. The problem with Zerg on 5 base is you have to be very, very mobile with your army. You have to be able to jump back and forth. You need lanes, for instance, to defend. Or you can just kind of win with mass Roach. Oh my god.
Well, I think that's the correct response. I totally
think
the Roach is the correct response in this situation because your opponent lost a lot of Sentries last fight.
Yeah,
Sentries are the siege tank for cost that makes Roaches so ineffective.
Those Void Rays are looking so good right now. We actually see that he is up to 8 Void Rays. We were obviously correct with that double Cybernetics core not being a mistake. He wants to make sure those air upgrades are fantastic. We can actually take a look. Has he started shield upgrades? He hasn't quite yet. Obviously, shield upgrades very, very good for both air and ground units, especially if you're going to be having kind of a mixture. Colossus, Zealot, Void Ray, Stalker, things like that.
I'm really surprised to not see Mutalisk at this point, and I'll tell you exactly why, Talix. Our opponent is very low on Templar. He just didn't make any high Templar, And Stalkers aren't the most effective unit, especially without Blink, and I don't think these have Blink. No, they do not.
No.
So Mutas are actually really good against Void Rays, if I remember correctly.
They are very great, especially if you can get that +2 attack up there, making sure the bounce continues along very nicely. That being said, though, Future did throw down his Templar Archives. It's on its way right now. Charge is on its way. I think we are going to be seeing Zealot, Archon, Void Ray, like my first prediction.
Plenty of spines thrown down at the 4th that will block off a lot of this Zealot aggression.
Oh, the Colossus in the front! Not where they need to be.
Maybe some more. Ooh, another abduction. That one goes down. A lot of these buildings getting picked off very quickly. The Zerg army is still very strong, even with the Nexus assisting as well.
The blinding clouds actually went down on the Void Rays and the Stalkers and the cannons to make sure that they wouldn't be able to do the attacks. Not that many Hydralisks here. The Void Rays making quick work of them. And now we can actually see that MaSsan... Oh, there's the GG, well played.
Oh, wow.
Future takes that game. If we want to just take a quick second, if you take a look, that 4th base was going down by MaSsan. He would have had the 3rd up, and the natural and the main were just about mined out. Great play there for Future, just holding and winning with defense.